When I was growing up, MLB Network was my safe place. I could go for rankings, I could go for highlights, and now in the year 2023, they're posting garbage like this.
And at number 5, it's Nolan Arenado of the St. Louis Cardinals.
That is blasphemous.
What? Nolan Arenado at the 5 spot? What are we doing? That's like saying The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie. So I have all of the rankings on my phone right now. Yes, we'll go ahead and break down the rest of the third basemen in just a second, but for right now, let's start with their first basemen. According to MLB Network, their top 10 first basemen right now, they have Goldie, Freeman, Vladdy Jr., you have Jose Abreu ahead of Pete Alonso, Matt Olson, Ty France, Nathaniel Lowe, Luis Arraez, and Rhys Hoskins. So this is MLB Network, okay, process it. This is the fan list, so we'll see if it's any better. So pretty much what I agree with is the fact that Pete Alonso should be ahead of Jose Abreu. I don't know if I would rank Anthony Rizzo ahead of Matt Olson or Jose Abreu, although I do really like Anthony Rizzo. So because this was a fan vote, maybe Yankees fans were able to skew it a little bit. But for me, having Jake Cronenworth in the top 10, that's a W. Having Ty France in the top 10, I mean, that's a W as well. So I guess the only person that suffers from the fan list is Luis Arraez. So let me know in the comments down below, do you prefer the fan list for first base or do you prefer MLB Network? And for me, I'm going to go with the fan list. Not going to lie, it's way better. Although I will say, put some respect on Nathaniel Lowe. That guy rakes. Let's go ahead and move on over to left field. So we have Yordan Alvarez. Obviously, he is going to be manning left field with Michael Brantley coming back from surgery. So Brantley is going to be the DH. They have Soto at the second spot right behind Yordan. Soto is probably going to be playing left and Tatis is going to be playing right. Then you have Schwarber, Taylor Ward, Randy, Steven Kwan, Tyler O'Neill, Michael Brantley, Ian Happ, and Eloy Jimenez. I'm going to say right now, Ian Happ is far too low. Same with Steven Kwan. So let's look at the fan list, see if they were any better. So they have Juan Soto as the #1 left fielder in baseball going into 2023. I agree with that. I think that Yordan, his defense is so bad that you kind of have to say he's not as good as Juan Soto. Kyle Schwarber at the 3 spot, Steven Kwan, Ian Happ, Christian Yelich, Dalton Varsho, Taylor Ward, Michael Brantley, Randy Arozarena. I don't understand how the fan list gets it more correct than the actual MLB Network and people and writers who are being paid to make these lists. Like, the fan list so far has been significantly better than both of MLB Network's lists. It's crazy. Now, again, as a content creator, I understand farming impressions. You need clicks and you need to drive traffic, but this is just bad. All right, let's talk about some relief pitchers, shall we? So they have Edwin Diaz, Emmanuel Clase. This is MLB Network, by the way, not the fan list just yet. So they have Diaz, Clase, Devin Williams, Phillips, who is very underrated, Johan Duran, Presley, Andres Munoz, Liam Hendricks, Jason Adam. Good for Jason Adam, and then Ryan Helsley. So this is not the worst list I've ever seen. Honestly, I feel like this is pretty solid. And then if we take a look at the fan list, they have Diaz, Clase with Josh Hader at 3, Presley, Helsley, Hendricks. They put some respect on Sir Anthony Dominguez, Felix Bautista, Jordan Romano, and Devin Williams, putting Devin Williams at the 10th spot. I'm just going to say this right now. The MLB Network relief pitcher list is way better than this fan list right here. I'm not going to lie, this is kind of buns. Although I do really like Helsley, I like Presley. It's not the worst by any means, but it's certainly not good in my opinion. So I think MLB Network takes this one. Ooh, let's talk about some center fielders. We're going to go ahead and start off with the fan list first for center fielders. So thankfully, Mike Trout, he is still the #1 guy. J-Rod, Michael Harris, Byron Buxton, Brandon Nimmo, Harrison Bader, Cody Bellinger is ahead of Cedric Mullins and Brian Reynolds. That is a no from me. So again, it was Nimmo, Bader, Bellinger, Grisham, Mullins, and Brian Reynolds. So far, I don't like the relief pitcher fan list or the center field. Let's see what MLB Network did with their center fielders. They have Byron ahead of Julio Rodriguez. Now, maybe if Byron could actually play 140 to 150 games, I could get down with that. But I would go Mike Trout, J-Rod, and let's talk about the rest of their list. So they have Mike Trout, Buxton, J-Rod, Nimmo, Harris, Reynolds, Mullins. I forgot that they didn't even mention Roberts on the fan list. What is that? Mike Yastrzemski and Chas McCormick. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I do like the MLB Network top 10 center fielder a little bit better. I would say that Michael Harris is better than Brandon Nimmo right now. I love the fact that Brian Reynolds and Cedric Mullins, they're a little bit higher on the list. I like that Luis Robert is on the list. Mike Yastrzemski, I mean, is he better than Harrison Bader? I really thought that Harrison Bader broke out and he's gonna be a whole new player for the Yankees. So for me, I would probably take Bader over Mike, and I don't know about Chas McCormick, although he's really good. He showed some stuff in the playoffs. I would say that MLB Networks is better than the fan list, at least for center fielders. So maybe MLB Network is about to catch some more dubs. Speaking of MLB Network, let's talk about their top 10 right fielders. Obviously, you have to go with Aaron Judge at the number 1 spot. They have Mookie Betts, Bryce Harper, who is probably going to be a DH this year, so I don't know if this necessarily counts, but they have Bryce Harper, Kyle Tucker, Ronald Springer, Marte, Teoscar Hernandez, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Hunter Renfroe. I'm just going to say this right now. I am seeing so many people disrespect Fernando Tatis Jr., and maybe rightfully so, but I still think that he is one of the best 10 talents in baseball when healthy. And you're telling me with a straight face that Teoscar Hernandez and Starling Marte are better than Fernando Tatis Jr., one of the most talented players. Hey, Grady. One of the most talented players that we've ever seen in the history of baseball. What he's done before turning 25 years old almost doesn't make sense. So I love Aaron Judge being at the 1 spot. I like Mookie Betts being there. Kyle Tucker is so underrated. Ronald is there. Let's look at the fan list. So they have Aaron Judge. What? They have Lars Nootbaar ahead of Kyle Tucker, ahead of Fernando Tatis Jr., Adolis Garcia. I didn't even know that he was going to be a right fielder. Who is the center fielder for the Rangers? I'll have to come back to that. Starling Marte, Nick Castellanos. Dude, these lists are all over the place. I love Lars Nootbaar. He is not better than Kyle Tucker. He is not better than Fernando Tatis Jr. or Ronald. I am sorry. So even I don't agree with the top 10 right fielders for MLB Network. I have to say that their list is better. So the fans, I mean, I don't know if this was a Twitter poll or something, but it looks like Cardinals fans and Yankees fans have kind of taken over. I cannot believe my eyes. The fact that they ranked Kyle Tucker at 6, Lars Nootbaar at 4. What is this? Maybe I was wrong in my most underrated players video. Maybe Kyle Tucker really is underrated.
That is blasphemous.
Arenado bounced back with an MVP-level year. He slugged .533, hit 30 homers, played 148 games.
And last but not least, let's talk about the abomination that is the third baseman. The reason why I made today's video, because they put Nolan Arenado at the 5 spot. Again, I understand impressions and needing to get clicks, but Nolan Arenado is better than Rafael Devers. He is better than Austin Riley. I'm a Guardians fan. Nolan Arenado is better than J-Ram. You can make the argument that Nolan Arenado should be number 1 on this list. So let's take a look at what the fans said. They said that Nolan Arenado is the best third baseman. Then you have Manny and Jose. With those 3 guys, you could probably go 1A, 1B, and 1C. They did go with Bregman over Riley and Devers. I don't agree with that, but I'm just happy that the fans have Chapman and Ke'Bryan Hayes on this list. If we take a look at MLB Networks, they put Justin Turner, Max Muncy, Yandy Diaz, and DJ LeMahieu over Hayes and Matt Chapman. That's a no for me. And honestly, I don't know if I'm a big fan of any of these lists. I feel like there was a lot wrong because I could do a top 10 third baseman. I could do a top 10 right field that is better than this. I've said it before in this video, but yeah, some of these lists are just kind of trash. Thanks for watching, everyone. That's going to do it for today's video. If you want to watch some more or subscribe, if you hit this little button over here, that will be the subscribe, and also a little video down below. Thanks for watching and be safe.